Okay, so this is a video that's somewhat personal for me, but it's a video I think can relate to a very large number of people. And if you're watching this video, the chances are you will feel that this is a subject that relates to you. So I want you to just know a few things before I continue. I'm not an expert. I'm not a sort of counselor or psychologist or anything like that. Um, my position is simply as someone who's been through bullying. And what we have to do is call it what it is, bullying. If you're going through this, you'll know how much of an unpleasant experience this is. It can be soul destroying. Perhaps the biggest emotion that you will relate to is mental anguish. You'll feel deep sense of anger. Why me? Why are they doing this to me? And I say they because more often than not, the media portrayal of bullies is often individuals, but I mean, when we see that in films and so on, more often than not, it's actually groups, and that sort of group dynamic is arguably worse. So you're thinking, is why me? Um, and the truth is, this might sound like a cliche, like something a lot of people say, but bullies are cards. They want to find a way to make themselves feel good by putting down someone who seems a bit different, who seems a bit like they stand out. So perhaps it's because of your body size. Perhaps it's because of your ethnic group. Perhaps you stand out from that point of view. Perhaps it's because of your accent. Perhaps it's because of your hair color. It could be any reason. The truth is, the reason isn't that important to them. What matters to them is that the malicious, nasty way they're going about things makes them feel better. And they're cards. And it might be hard to think that way when you're in the midst of it because it can feel overwhelming. But you have to bear that at the back of your mind. It is so, so true. I don't want to lie to anyone. There are no simple answers to this. But I do want you to know wherever you are in the world, please, please know that there are other people out there who've been through this. And please understand that when this is going on, when you feel so alone, when you feel so victimized in this way, it can seem like the whole world is against you. But look around. If you're a young person in school, try and think, is there some teacher that I get on well with? Maybe I could talk to. If you're close to your parents, talk to them. If you feel that you can't talk to your parents, maybe a friend. In fact, I'll be happy to try and respond to messages. Obviously, I don't know anyone personally, and I can't say that I'll be everyone's friend. I don't want to give people false illusions. But what I can do is say, I've been through this. Maybe I could give you some feedback. I'll try my best to find time to respond to messages on this. But look around you and don't despair. There will be someone in your life you can talk to about this, and they may well be able to do something about it. And going to a teacher is not weak, it's not cowardly, it's not being a snitch. It's a practical solution to a problem. Because even if the bullies aren't physically abusing you, if they're not hitting you, and so if they are grinding you down every single day by name calling and this sort of thing, firstly, it's not just a laugh. If it's making you uncomfortable, then there's no excuses for it, and you need to talk to someone. Then feel free to leave me a message, and I'll try my best to respond to that. Like I say, I'm not an expert, but I've been through this. I have abundant experience of bullying, both in Northern Ireland, where I was born, and also when I first came to England. It's a horrible thing. It really is. But believe me, it makes you a stronger person in the long run because it enables you to be a more empathetic person with others. It enables you to know that, yes, I have been through this. And bullying does vary. You can get different levels of bullying. All bullying is wrong, but you get different levels. And you may think, well, I can't really say anything that I don't like this, but other people are going through something worse. That may be true, but if it's getting to you, it's wrong. And if it is really severe, if the bullies are really physically hurting you or making you do terrible things, you need to talk to someone. Talk to me. I I don't want to say I can be a great friend because I don't want to hurt you by misleading you. I can't do that online, but what I can do is perhaps offer some feedback and try to reassure you that you're not alone. There are other people in this world who feel the same way. I would also like to send a message to adults who might be going through this, because very often when we talk about bullying, we think of school bullying, but this is also a problem that can exist in the workplace. And in that case, again, really, it's not that different. As adults, you may feel sort of guilt, like I shouldn't be going through this. Is there something wrong with me? Is it, I'm a 35-year-old guy. I'm married. I've got, I'm in a senior position in the company. Why am I being targeted? Or I'm a 40-year-old woman. I've a college degree. I shouldn't be going through this. It doesn't matter who you are, because every human being has a red line where people can only push them so far, and there is absolutely no shame in that whatsoever. It's part of being a human being, and I've no intention of patronizing anyone, but you don't have to go through it. You really don't. So again, it's the same principle. There must be someone you can talk to, whether it be a superior or directly to the person involved, or try and think of what you think the most practical solution will be. But please know that you're not alone, because this is not a trivial thing. Far too many lives are taken each year through suicides because of this plague on humanity. And it's just wrong. I detest bullies and I detest bullying. And all I want to say to people is please don't feel alone. I know it can be scary. I know it can be deeply frustrating. And also, this is worth mentioning, different people go through different experiences. So not every victim has exactly the same experience. So some people might have more of a sensation of fear, others might have more of a sensation of anger and frustration. But what all victims have in common is that negative feeling, and that's completely understandable. But do not let these people win. And what I mean by that is, some people say, oh, you have to stand up for yourself. I'm not saying that. But what you have to understand is A, it's not your fault, and B, you're not alone. Now, I cannot physically come out of this screen and help you physically, but please know that I know this problem is out there. Other people know it too, millions of other people. And whilst these bullies may be making your life really unpleasant, bear in mind there are a lot of good people out there. And when high school is over, when you leave the job, whatever it is, there are many, many, many other decent people out there who will restore your faith in humanity. I'm with you. Please, please don't give up. And if you can, try to go to a teacher, try to go to your boss, speak to someone. Even if you don't feel you could speak to someone in a superior position, try to speak to a friend. Feel free to leave me a message. I have been through a lot. I'm not saying I know everything, but I have been through a lot, and I can maybe offer some peer advice, suggestions. Sometimes talking to people in that way helps, and I'll try my best to respond to messages. And I'm sure my subscribers will help me out with that. Um, so thank you for watching. Please don't give up. I'm in the UK, but wherever you are in the world, whether you're in the United States, whether you're in China, India, whichever country you're in, this problem is the same. And please, please don't give up. Okay? You're not alone. You're not weak. And it's not your fault. And it may seem like you're alone because, if you're in a classroom with people laughing at you, it might really seem that physically in that place you're alone. But in the big wide world, which really matters, you're not. Please bear that in mind. Because the idiots that are doing this to you, the weak cards that are doing this to you, are not going to get far in life. And those that do will be exposed at some point. So just remember that. And if you want to ask me any questions, feel free. I should emphasize I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a counselor, so I can't go into depth with those sort of subjects, but I have been through this and I know what it's like, believe me. And I would never ever tell anyone, oh, just stand up for them or don't be so sensitive or something like that. I know what this is like. I know. So, I'm with you and best wishes.